Hey guys, this is UC. It is about 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and I thought I'd make a quick recap video. Not going, I think it can help you, people who are new to the platform or just generally trying to understand the morning notes and how they can utilize it better, right? So let's just review. I think the best way to go is to do a review. Of today's levels. Okay, let me take them out. All right. So in the morning, these are all, okay, your overall NQF, SPX, Amazon. Let's see what's in the notes. Okay, Amazon bouncing the pre-market, right? It was kind of trading towards the top side of its range in pre-market, so it's bouncy. Let us see if it can take out 31.96 or gets rejected there, right? Uh, and here's a trade above Friday's low. Let us see if it can gain traction. So basically, if it would have gone above 31.96, that would have meant that the chart is getting somewhat bullish. So calls would be preferred, right? That's what it meant. And the top side target would have been 32.45, first target, right? That's what it meant. But so let's go see what actually happened when the market opened, right? Amazon. Let's get into like a 5-minute chart. I'm going to open up the extended hours as well, right? So that's where we were uh, in the pre-market when I made those notes, right? When it opened, we opened up right around 31.80. So the thing was 31.96 and above, we're going to play calls. That's what it means. It never went there. So immediately you know that it's not playing out to the bullish side. So that means with these top wicks and all this action, the morning action is bearish, right? It tried to go up, but even if it was trying to go up, it couldn't even move up towards the top end of its morning range, right? So that means it is weak. And then it kept on falling down towards 31.25, which was the next major support level. Okay, it kind of stopped, a little before that, and then made the move back up, and then still got back down, right? It couldn't even go all the way to touch its morning high. Again, the sentiment was sell the strength. So this area would have been nice to sell, or let's say even this one, right? Because that's where the breakdown started from. So if you would have shorted here with, let's say, a stop loss of this level over here, or even the day's high, it would have worked. But sell the strength was the play. Okay, now let's go take a look at the other one. Dwok. I know I got in this one and I sold it for a loss. Okay, so this was EMA Cloud's pullback. So basically I was looking for the price to get into somewhere around 84.6 to kind of look for that pullback to get back and play this move. Okay, now let's go see what happened. When Dwok opened up, I got in around here, right? It was a 5-minute bar, went back down. I got in here, and then it moved up maybe a little bit, maybe $1 or something, but then it just quickly came back down, right? And this was my stop loss area. I was like, okay, if this is a Momo name, if it needs to move, it should move quickly back up. But if it's not moving, that means that the momentum is not there, and it's just kind of rolling over. So I think I closed the trade right below 84.6, and I saved all this move down. It came back up, but not where I got in. So again, I saved all this money because this was a stop loss, right? And that's fine. It did not play, so I got out. That was the setup. It did not play out. Should not be any ego or any hope for you to sit on that trade. Okay. NVDA gave up 260 yesterday and dropped till 257. Now back up in pre-market. 262.3 was resistance. Like to try a bearish trade if it goes towards 265, right? So it was right here. I was trying to short it around between 263 to 266. Okay, that was the intention. That was the plan of this trade. Let's see what happened in NVIDIA. It opened up around 260-ish, 262.5 was sort of the resistance that I had mentioned in my notes. So as it got above that, it moved towards 265. I think the high of the day was 265.4. So as soon as it got above 265, we did puts, right? And that's was ended up being the high of the day, and then it started falling down, and then it was just a flush, right, all the way till 250. I think we came out somewhere around 259 or even 260, right? You always leave a lot on the table, but anyways, you could always let your contract go something. But again, if we had, so if we got in here, right, for the short, our stop loss would have been maybe 266.4 or even 267, right? That would have meant if we would have seen some bars closing above this level, that would have meant that it's strong and wants to go towards 272 next target. So take the loss, right? Uh, that's how we like to trade. That if the trade is not acting the way as you plan, you come out, you take the smaller loss versus you sitting in a trade and instead of losing $1 on your contract, watching it go to zero. Okay, that should not be the case. Okay, now let's go take a look at something else. ROKU held for the past 2 days when market was tanking, relative strength, blah, blah, blah. Okay, short can also be attempted around 173. Okay, that's what the plan or the chart or the morning notes said, right? Held decent 2 days. That means, so it looks range bound, right? So I want to try a short at 173, or if it can hold this level for a bounce, so would have tried a bounce at 160. Okay, now let's go take a look at what happened in ROKU. Okay, so ROKU. So I wanted to short above or around 173, right? So that's where 173 is. I think it made the high just below 173. But again, the thought process was to short on the strength, and that's exactly, had it gone there, one could have played it and it just would have given you instant gratification of $10. Okay. So the thought process was right. Yes, it did not go to my trigger. But again, even if you had taken the trade and went with the thought process, it's better than shorting it here, right? It's better than shorting it here, right? You're shorting it here. So you're giving yourself more room. You're giving yourself more room to be wrong and still be okay. All right. So that's how my thinking process works. Now let's go take a look at Tesla. Still not out of the woods yet, right? For bulls. Gave a nice run to the upside, but bears took over. Now above 140, 1040 pre-market, but not totally convinced bulls will have returned. Need a move above 1059, right, to get bullish. Or to the downside, giving up 1026 is bearish, right? That's what the chart said. And look at this trend line, right? We wanted to be short below this thing. And had it gone above 1059, we could have played it towards this trend line right here, right? Now let's go see what happened. Tesla, right? It opened up around 1045, never saw 1059, right? 1060, 1059, never saw that number. It dropped like a rock from 1055 all the way down to 995 in one big swoop, right, towards like all morning. So I think it stopped at 1026.8, right? That was the level we were trying to be bearish below. Now sometimes it will just slice that level through down, right? Or sometimes it will just give a little bit of bounce. Like if you see, and I think I wrote that look for a weak bounce, right? Exactly, that's what it did. Fell. Oh God, I need my. Sorry, I think I need my tool. Okay, so it went down, right? And it gave a weak bounce, which is shown by this one green bar, right? One tiny green bar, which has no upside follow through, right? So that means shorted on the way down, shorted here with the stop loss of this, shorted on the breakout. It's a good setup. Play it. The market is weak. The general sentiment is weak, so it will give you the move that you're looking for. So that is what you could have played, right? that is a good high probability trade. UPS Steel's consolidated below 115 for most of the day yesterday. If that area holds, if it pops above 120, okay, if it pops above 115, right, uh, that was the bullish move. Otherwise, it needs to break down below 105. Now let's go see what happened in UPST. Okay, so we were trying to be bullish above 115, right? It never, or we would have said that the chart has turned bullish above 115 and wants to go towards this trend line, right? It never did that. It remained range bound and it never even broke 105 to give you a bearish trade, right? It kept bouncing from the low of previous day. So, yeah, that means no trade, right? Stop looking at it. It's range bound. It's not doing anything in the morning. So forget about it. Go look for something else. Go look other setups that I presented you. So your job in the morning should be to go through all those notes that I literally, very painfully prepare in the morning for you guys because, it will help you read my mind, my thought process as I'm trying to approach the market. And of course, there will be days where, for example, Amazon, right? We were sort of trying to see if it would have gone above 31.96. We would have played the call side, right? And it did not do that. So that I don't have, what do you call that? A magic lamp. Nobody knows if it will go above or not, but you plan for it, right? So that means if something that you plan for is not happening, that means the opposite is true, right? That the chart is bearish. It is going down. So look for a bearish play, right? So if you zoom over here, look at this chart. Here's a nice pattern that you could have played, right? Move down and sort of a bear flag, right? All the green bars are not seeing any major upside follow through here in 5 minutes. And then as soon as it broke down, this bar, boom, all the way down, right? So identify these patterns, right? Read about these things. These things help you. Like, for example, this is a nice continuation pattern right here towards the midday, right? Move down again, small little, cute little bear flag, and then the continuation move down, right? Tesla. I think some of the people asked us about playing it on the rebound. It was a great setup. I think 10, 13 to 10, 19 was the level, right? This is like right here, 19. It went all the way till 26, which is fine, right? That's where it broke down from. So if it wanted to go there and then break down, it did that. Yes, if it had gone above past that, that's where you take your stop loss because you're like, okay, I shorted it here, right? It's not moving down. It's an intraday, midday, slow trade. The options are not going to move fast, things of that nature. So your first move is this, right? This move down. This should have been your second move on the retrace, right? With your profits or with a smaller size. All right, guys. Hope you guys understand this. So start thinking in those lines, and I'm sure you will start finding consistency in your results, and your thinking, your thought process will also develop to think tactfully, right? Rather than just always saying, hey, if Apple goes to 171, it can see 175. Those kind of uh, things people tweet on Twitter, and you want people go read about that, and then they ask us, oh, it's if it goes above 175, can it see 180? Don't look for bullish plays. Look for bearish plays. Right now, the market is bearish. Okay, there is nothing bullish about this market. All the pops are being sold, right? So I know everybody wants to be a hero, right? And they want to see or actually catch the next pop like this that occurs, right? Why are you worried about this one day when 20 days of trading is to the downside, right? If this happens, sure, it will stop you out. It's okay. But what about all this money that you're leaving on the table trying to pick the bottom and when it's not happening? Think about it. All right. Have a good night, guys.